Here's something most people don't realize. One missing comma can completely change what you are trying to say. Look at these two sentences. Let's eat grandma versus let's eat grandma. The words are the same, but the meaning completely different. One sounds like you're inviting grandma to dinner, the other sounds like grandma is dinner. And that's exactly how punctuation works. So let's go through the punctuation marks you really need to know. Nothing complicated, just what they really do and how to use them naturally. A period ends a complete sentence, a full thought that stands on its own. You could say, I went to the store. That's one finished idea, so it ends with a period. You'll also see it in abbreviations like doctor or mister. And here's a small tip, if that abbreviation comes at the end of your sentence, you don't need two periods, one works fine. A question mark goes at the end of direct questions, things you actually ask, like where are you going or what time is it? But if you're just talking about a question, you use a period instead. For example, she asked where I was going. That's not a question anymore, it's a statement about one. Use this to show emotion. For example, excitement, surprise, or urgency, like that's amazing or watch out. But here's the thing, when you use it everywhere, it loses impact. If every sentence ends with an exclamation mark, nothing feels exciting anymore. So save it for when you actually want that strong tone. Now, commas, the most misunderstood punctuation mark ever. But once you get the idea, they're actually simple. First, when you're listing things, you separate them with commas. Something like I bought eggs, bread, milk, and cheese. That last comma before end keeps your list clear. Next, use a comma after words or phrases that start your sentence. You could write, however, I changed my mind, or after dinner, we watched a movie. It adds a smooth pause that makes your sentence easier to read. Then, use commas to join two complete ideas when they are connected by words like and, but, or so. For example, I was tired, but I kept working. She studied hard and she passed. The comma always comes before the connecting word. Another place you need commas is when you add extra information. For instance, my sister, who lives in Boston, is visiting. If you can remove the middle part and the sentence still makes sense, that extra bit needs commas around it. And finally, use commas when you are directly talking to someone. Sarah, can you help me? Thanks, mom. Without that comma, the meaning can completely change. Semicolons look fancy, but they are really not that deep. They connect two full sentences that are closely related. Something like, I love pizza, it's my favorite food. Or, she didn't study, she failed the test. Both sides should be complete sentences on their own. And here's one more useful pattern when you use connecting words like however, therefore, or moreover between two full sentences. Place a semicolon before the word and a comma after it. For example, I wanted to go for a walk, however, it started raining. A colon is like a spotlight. It says, here comes more. You use it before a list, an explanation, or an example. I need three things: a pen, paper, and coffee. Or, here's my problem: I'm always late. Just remember, the part before the colon should be a complete sentence. This tiny mark causes the most trouble, but the logic is easy. It does two main jobs. First, it shows ownership. For example, that's Mike's car or the dog's food. And when you're talking about something plural that already ends in S, you just add the apostrophe after. For example, my parents' house. Second, it replaces missing letters when words are combined, like don't for do not, it's for it is, they are for they are, and this rule matters. It's with an apostrophe always means it is. If you're showing possession, it's without an apostrophe. For example, it's raining means it is raining. The dog wagged its tail means The tail belongs to the dog. Same idea for your and your, or their and their. The apostrophe always marks the missing letters. Quotation marks show exact words like things someone actually said. She said, I'll be there at 5. Notice how the comma is inside the quotes? That's the American style. They're also used for titles of songs or short works. For example, my favorite song is Wonderwall. Now, there are two types of dashes. The short dash shows ranges, for example, pages 5 to 10 or Monday to Friday. The long dash adds emphasis or extra information. For example, I was thinking about pizza, pepperoni specifically, when she called. It's similar to commas but adds more energy or drama. A hyphen connects words that act as one idea. For example, a well known actor, 25, my mother in law. It's what keeps your sentence clean and easy to follow. Parentheses are for small side thoughts, something extra that's not essential. For example, I finally finished the book. It took 3 months and it was excellent. If you take that part out, the sentence still makes sense, which means you've used them correctly. So that's punctuation, small marks with a huge job. They control how your ideas sound, how clear they are, and even how people interpret your tone.